The Jeffrey Epstein saga has returned to the headlines, once again pulling Bill Clinton into the conversation. Clinton has repeatedly denied ever visiting Epstein's private island, notorious for disturbing allegations involving underage girls. However, he admits to traveling on Epstein's private jet, the Lolita Express, during 2002 and 2003, claiming the flights were for Clinton Global Initiative charity work. He emphasizes that this was before Epstein's 2005 conviction for sex crimes, but the association continues to spark speculation and public scrutiny. Clinton's memoir confessional. In his recent memoir, Citizen, Clinton finally tackled the Epstein question head-on. He acknowledged that yes, he'd hitched a ride or two on Epstein's jet, but only for philanthropic purposes. He claimed the trips allowed him to visit various projects tied to his foundation, though he now admits it wasn't worth the years of questioning afterward. The former president says he found Epstein a little strange, but had no clue about the crimes Epstein was allegedly committing. Clinton also insists that his last contact with Epstein was before the financier's 2005 arrest. In total, Clinton says he met Epstein privately twice. Once at Epstein's Manhattan townhouse, and once at the Clinton Global Initiative offices in Harlem. The photos and testimonies that won't go away. While Clinton's account sounds neatly tied up with a bow, several details continue to raise eyebrows. One is a now infamous photo of Clinton receiving a shoulder massage from Chauncey Davies, a flight attendant on the Lolita Express who later became one of Epstein's accusers. Davies has said the massage happened during a layover on a humanitarian trip to Africa, which sounds less like a scandal and more like an oddly specific spa Yelp review. Then there's Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's most well-known accusers, who claimed in 2020 that Clinton had indeed visited Epstein's island. She didn't accuse him of wrongdoing directly, but when asked if Clinton could be considered a witness to the abuse of minors, she replied yes, explaining that he knew her purpose there for Jeffrey and had been present on the island. Adding fuel to the rumor fire, Johanna Sjoberg, another woman connected to Epstein, testified that Epstein once made a cryptic remark about Clinton's preferences, allegedly saying that Clinton likes them young. There's no concrete evidence tying Clinton to any illegal acts, but that kind of comment tends to hang in the air like bad perfume. Even Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime confidant and convicted accomplice, confirmed Clinton had flown on Epstein's plane, though she claimed she didn't know how frequently. The painting nobody asked for. And then, of course, there's that painting. Hanging in Epstein's lavish Manhattan mansion was an unsettling portrait titled Parsing Bill by artist Patrina Ryan Clyde. The artwork depicted Clinton lounging in a blue dress and red heels, striking a playful Uncle Sam finger point at the viewer. Interpretations vary. Some think the dress was a wink, or maybe a slap, at Monica Lewinsky's infamous blue dress. Others believe it mirrored something Hillary Clinton wore in 2009. Whether it was intended as satire, mockery, or psychological leverage, the fact remains, that's one living room centerpiece you just can't explain away with, oh, it's modern art. The subpoenas are coming. Just when you thought the political drama had simmered down, the House Oversight Committee recently voted to subpoena both Bill and Hillary Clinton to investigate potential links to Ghislaine Maxwell. It's unclear exactly what they're fishing for, but given Maxwell's history, you wouldn't bet on it being good news. Maxwell and Epstein, the deadly duo. To understand how Clinton's name even got tangled in all this, you need to know the backstory of Ghislaine Maxwell, the socialite who went from champagne flutes to courtroom mugshots. Back in 1991, Maxwell moved to New York to launch a magazine and maintain her glittering high society life. She was polished, well-connected, and thanks to her father, Robert Maxwell, a powerful British media mogul, she could mingle with Manhattan's elite without breaking a sweat. That's when she met Jeffrey Epstein. He was already wealthy and enigmatic, with a knack for moving in powerful circles. Maxwell, however, was about to hit rock bottom. Later that year, her father died suddenly in a boating accident, and the fallout was catastrophic. It emerged that Robert Maxwell had stolen hundreds of millions from his company's pension funds. The Maxwell empire crumbled, and Ghislaine's luxurious life evaporated almost overnight. Epstein swooped in like a billionaire fairy godfather. He gave her money, properties, and, according to court testimony, even a helicopter. In return, he gained access to the upper echelons of society, something Maxwell could provide with ease. By 1992, the rumor mill was spinning with talk that they were romantically involved. Whether they were lovers, business partners, or co-conspirators depends on who you ask, but prosecutors later made it clear Maxwell stayed for the lifestyle, and Epstein valued her for her social Rolodex, the ultimate power network. Maxwell introduced Epstein to a who's who of global elites, royals, politicians, Hollywood stars, and yes, Bill Clinton. Publicists later described her as the bridge between Epstein and the power players he wanted to collect like rare baseball cards. Over the years, the duo was photographed at events with everyone from Clinton to Donald Trump to Prince Andrew. Witnesses described them as flirtatious in public, and Maxwell's own brothers admitted the pair had been a couple at some point, though it was never a conventional romance. Behind the scenes, Maxwell ran Epstein's properties with military precision. She hired staff, oversaw finances, and even distributed handbooks warning employees to see nothing, hear nothing, say nothing. According to Epstein's pilots, Maxwell coordinated flights and acted as the de facto lady of the house, the darker side. But Maxwell's duties weren't limited to event planning. Victims testified that she played a central role in recruiting and grooming underage girls for Epstein. Annie Farmer, who met Maxwell at 16, described her as a crucial player in the operation, offering opportunities but delivering exploitation. Even after Epstein's 2006 conviction for soliciting a minor, Maxwell didn't publicly sever ties. She briefly dated billionaire Ted Waite, but emails later revealed she continued to work with Epstein on property deals. In one email, Epstein even encouraged her to hold her head high and act as though she'd done nothing wrong. That loyalty, whether born from gratitude, dependence, or shared guilt, ultimately sealed her fate. In 2020, Maxwell was arrested and charged with multiple counts of sex trafficking. During her trial, victims painted a chilling portrait of her role in Epstein's crimes. She denied the charges, but the jury wasn't convinced. So, where does this leave Clinton? Despite the swirl of accusations, suggestive remarks, and unflattering photographs, there's still no hard evidence linking Clinton to any illegal acts. The former president maintains that his relationship with Epstein was purely professional and rooted in philanthropy. But public perception doesn't run on courtroom standards. It runs on optics, and the optics here are, let's say, less than presidential. Between the massages, the testimony about island visits, and that bizarre blue dress painting, Clinton's association with Epstein will likely remain a shadow over his legacy. Whether the upcoming subpoenas will unearth anything concrete or just more political theater remains to be seen. One thing's for certain, when it comes to the Epstein files, the story is never really over. It just takes a short vacation, possibly on a private island, before coming back for another news cycle. And that's where we'll leave this chapter of the Epstein saga, for now. If you found this deep dive as wild as it was unsettling, hit that like button. Want more untangled scandals and hidden backstories? Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Until next time, stay curious. And maybe avoid mysterious private jets.